It's time to go inside the boardroom.
It probably is timeless. You know why? I respect anybody that was on the Warriors beat during those years.
And take a seat at the conference table.
Guru's great too.
Welcome to the Executive Show.
Nothing easy!
On 95.7 The Game. Brought to you by Yellow Sack. Try a dumpster bag for easy waste removal. Less mess, reduce stress. Budget friendly, clean freely. Call 833-3YELLOW or go to yellowsack.com.
All righty, let's get right to it. Head out to the Bud Light guest line. All guests appear on the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. It's the Executive Show with Zaza Pachulia. Zaza, thank you so much for joining us. And we've got Evan in for Guru today, just to let you know. And let me start here. And obviously, you may not know what the Warriors are going to do, but clearly the name James Wiseman is out there in terms of all the trade rumors. And what I'm wondering is, when you have a player that young who's obviously aware of it, like, have you talked to James about this time of year and how to cope with it, because it's something that a lot of players have to deal with at some point?
Hey, guys, before I answer this question, there are two things I want to mention. One of them is the tragedy happened in Turkey and Syria with the earthquake. And, Warriors, obviously, we're based in U.S., but we are a very global brand. We have followers all over the world, and we have presence all over the world. So I definitely want to acknowledge that we have lost thousands of people lost their lives. So my condolences to all the families. Second one I want to mention is today's Klay's birthday. So happy birthday, my brother, Klay Thompson. I actually texted this morning. I said legends are born in February, because I'm born in February as well. So it's a joke. But to answer your question, yes, I did have a conversation, and that not only resonates the trade deadline and rumors, but also the playing time, right? And my message was very simple. That something helped me throughout this my career, that there are things you can control as a player, but there are things you cannot control as a player, right? So this is one of those things when it comes to the trade line that he cannot control. All he can do is be a pro, continue working hard, keep getting better, because he's going to need today's workout, today's progress. He's going to need, doesn't matter what jersey he wears in his life. And that's talking to him generally. Right now, of course, we're very proud to James being part of the Warriors. We love him as a person, first of all, right? And then obviously as a player as well. So, but as a friend, as somebody, the older brother, you want to call it, and who's been in his situation before. I think this message helped me, so I definitely share with him this message. That just, I know it's hard. Everybody's talking about you. You open, any social media, or you open any website, basketball-related website, or watch the TV, they're talking about your name is out there. So how can you just relax and just, do stuff that you're supposed to, or focus on the things really matters? It's hard, but at the same time, he has to understand that this is a business, and he has to understand that just try to focus on the things that he can control.
Yeah, Zaza, and having played 16 years and now being with the Warriors organization, you understand that business side, but I also know that you were traded. I know not at the deadline, but in the offseason from Milwaukee to Dallas in 2015. How did you deal with that switch, and knowing that your name was potentially floated in these circles and having to be okay with that, but also knowing that the next day your key card's not working in Milwaukee and you're going to be heading to Dallas? I mean, how do you kind of deal with those conversations that swirl around you and that are continuously in flux?
Yeah, that's a good question. But before I answer the question, I want to tell you that I was in a similar situation. I was playing for Dallas Mavericks, and literally it was almost done deal for me trading to Houston for Brad Miller. And there are a couple nights prior to the trade deadline. I couldn't sleep. I was up all night. I was nervous. I was younger. Right, so I didn't have this experience, and I was just like in the middle of the season. I already have a family, kids going to the school. Right, so much going on in my mind, and it was so disturbing and such an unpleasant situation to be. But trade didn't happen, and that definitely motivated me, because I think I think I finished my season really. I mean, he was kind of pretty young guy. It was like a wake up call. I said, "Oh wow, this can happen." I could have easily got moved, so I got motivated. I got mad at it as well, but the madness was I translated to the motivation. I said, "I'm going to prove you guys that you guys did the right thing, not trading me." So I want to make sure that and it can be a thing. I don't know, it depends how the thing's going to shape up and. We're talking generally, but to answer your question, from moving from Milwaukee to Dallas, actually, no disrespect to anyone, but it was like to the better for me, and I was excited. I was going to play with Dirk, and even though I had Giannis, Giannis was 18, 19-year-old kid, and he still had years ahead of him to get to the point where he was capable to, and. That year, previous year, we only won 15 games, I believe, with the Milwaukee Bucks, where I went to the team where it's a playoff team. So it was I felt like it was upgrade. It was warmer in Dallas and Texas, less taxes, state income taxes. So there's a lot of positives. And play for Coach Carlisle and with Dirk and Darren Williams and the guys. It was like veteran team, and I was a veteran myself. So I kind of didn't feel as bad as but it still feels kind of awkward that you're getting traded, So, but again, like I say, control the things you can control. So I think I really had that mindset, especially I was 30 plus years old, and guess what? I had my career year with Dallas Mavericks, playing with those guys and play for Coach Carlisle. Yeah. So, like I say, things of course can be pros and cons, like positives and negatives, and you gotta try to make sure as a player to take advantage of it, because every situation, every decision has some positive, right? So try to take advantage of positive things and make it work.
Zaza Pachulia joining us on the Executive Show. It's a Warriors Wednesday, brought to you by Yellow Sack. To me, the big issue with this team is on the defensive end, and do you feel like you've got good defense? Do you feel like this team has a championship defensive run in them? Because it when people look at your championship teams, they always seem to dismiss that end of the floor. But you were great defensively. Can you be great again defensively with this roster?
Great question. I think watching the Warriors, team this year, we showed the highlights. Okay, so we showed the games, we showed the positions, but we were not able to bring it together for 48 minutes in consistent basis. I think that's the biggest thing. We are capable to, a core of the guys still here, and then we have one of the best defenders, if not the best, with Draymond Green and Wiggins, and we added Dante. Obviously, we know how smart he is and how great he is defensively, right? So, and plus you got Klay. So we got pieces. We have guys to believe in defense, right? Understand the defense. It's a matter of bringing things together, consistent basis, and that's what we're working on, in my opinion. So, if it was broken, if we had a guys who doesn't understand the importance of the defense, right, or doesn't know how to play defense, I would say, what we're doing, right? But that's not the case. I mean, I like the situation we are, obviously, because we are very close of bringing things together. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. But it's better to be in this situation rather than having a bunch of players who have no clue what's happening on defense.
Zaza, I appreciate you bringing up early the Turkey and Syria earthquake, and certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone there. But the second part of your opening statement was about the birthday boy, and I do want to ask you about Klay Thompson. Of course, he's turning 33 today. He's coming off a month in January in which was arguably his best shooting month of his career, 46, 43, 91 from the field, three-point and at the free throw line. And at the beginning of this year, we were talking about what's going on with Klay's shot. Is he forcing it? What is he doing? Well, he looked pretty in rhythm over the last 10 games of this regular season. Have you seen a sort of a switch at all from Klay Thompson? And do you think this is the Klay Thompson that Warriors fans can expect the rest of the way?
Yeah, I mean, even last game he was amazing, and it resonates like when Steve took him out from the game. I think it was 4 minutes left against Oklahoma City Thunder. He got standing ovation, well-deserved standing ovation, by the way. Had an awesome game. And that was not a coincidence, in my opinion, right? So the way he played, especially him understanding the Steph being out, now it's going to be more responsibility, with him and, the amount of shots he's going to get. So the team is depending on him and his shooting ability, right? So because he's the best three-point shooter we have. So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, when you look at the beginning of this, of the season, there's so many things we can talk about. With him not being in the game shape, and maybe championship hangover, and so many things can come, right? They kind of affect it when you bring the things together. It's becoming like it's a challenge, right? So, but now here we are in the middle of the season, right? And he got his legs under him, and his confidence came, right? And he's in a better shape, and momentum is there, and rhythm is there. So we see Klay, playing, as you mentioned, best month. He had the best month in his career with the percentages, right? And then more to come, right? Especially the Steph being out, and we had this 11-game stretch where Steph was out. Like, he was amazing, So I think it's a matter of his mind. And as far as he keeps his mind right and seems and feels, and talking to him, he's in a really, really good place right now, mentally and physically. So that's what we want. Other than that, the guy can do anything. We've been enjoying watching Klay and doing amazing things with, the breaking a record, or in a three-point makes, field-goal makes, or 60-point under 30-minute ride, or with the only 9 dribbles, whatever. So this guy's an amazing player.
Zaza, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. Really appreciate it. What, you want to squeeze one more?
Yeah, Zaza, obviously there was a big thing that happened in the NBA last night with LeBron passing up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I did want to ask you, as someone that played against him, just how incredible you feel both LeBron James' career is, as well as having played against a lot of great players over your 16 years. Who else would you put in that conversation as far as the best guys that you have played with or against?
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for asking this question, because I never played with LeBron on the same team, and we came the same year. We're in the same draft, 3 draft class, and since day one we've been battling. Especially, I spent a lot of my time in the Eastern Conference, and in 17-18, obviously we faced the Cavaliers in the finals, right? So it's a lot of battling, between two of us, but since day one. And I gotta tell you, I have nothing but the respect to the guy, what he's accomplished, what he has done. I mean, in many ways, right? For game of his basketball, even for myself, right? Whatever he did, we were discussing that yesterday with my friends, like with Messi being able to pass, Ronaldo with the amount of goals, right? Scored. Well, I said, this is way harder. This is way harder. Think about how many years nobody could done it, and here we are talking about the guy who played. This is 19th season, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So he's special. His name is going to be remembered. History of basketball with the forever. And I'm so grateful to have memories with this guy and play against him, and nothing but the respect for this guy. And I'm so grateful to, like I say, share the stories and memories playing against this guy.
Yeah, he's obviously one of the greatest. Zaza, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of the week.
Thanks, guys. You too.